Hey guys, it's Ted with OAXRAY, and today we're going to go over advanced seller tactics, how you can make money on items that look not profitable at all. So today I saw this Switch, Nintendo Switch. It's actually something that I've sold a few of in the past few weeks. And what I wanted to do was talk about a very advanced seller tactic, and that is selling items that don't look profitable to anyone else, but they can be highly profitable, or you can actually make some money on them. These things sell within a few hours of getting to the Amazon fulfillment center. They cost $2.99 at most stores, but I'm going to show you a way which you could sell this at the exact same $299 and still make some money. And this is kind of how I like to do it. So you take an item like this, it's $2.99, and every store you're going to find that it's going to be $2.99. You're not going to find it any cheaper. Whenever we actually pull up the Amazon fees on this item, I'm going to click on to the fulfillment calculator. It's going to pop up with the information, and I'm going to put $2.99 here. I know this is going to cost me a couple bucks to ship to Amazon. I'm just going to say $2. Since I've weighed these before, you're able to fit probably 6 or 8 of these in a box. So actually, it might cost maybe like $1 per item to send in. There's no special requirements. So I'm going to hit calculate and see what we get. What we get is our net payout is going to be $267.88. So what that means is we need to be able to buy these for less than that to actually make this thing profitable. Now, one thing I want to point out is because we're in the electronics category, our fees are less. So this is one of the things that you have to look at. Our fees on this item are only 8% versus the standard 15%. And that is one of the reasons this strategy works. So first thing I like to do is I like to go to ebay.com and I look for coupons and try to match one up with something that's actually going to work. So I know this is selling for $2.99 locally in my Toys R Us store, or I can do this online. But let me show you the online strategy. This sells for $2.99 on ToysRUs.com. So come over here and I see this 15% off coupon. Now, what I want to warn everyone is if some of these do have restrictions, so you have to make sure when you get one of these that it's not restricted to the specific product. And this Nintendo Switch is an example. So you can try this. I would try this strategy out with different items just so multiple people don't buy up all the coupons, which might happen. So here we are at 15% off one regular priced item. So what I would do is I would first contact the seller, make sure there's no restrictions on this coupon, which say it cannot be used on the Switch or electronics or something like that. And if everything is valid, I'd bid, purchase this item. 15% off. So let's pull up the math and let's see what that does to our price. And let's see if we're profitable yet, because from what I said over here, it looks like we need to be at $267.88 just to break even. Calculator here, and I'm going to do 299.99 times 0.85. See where it takes us. Okay, so it looks like if we're able to use this coupon, which the coupon may be limited to certain items, be sure you check. We're going to be able to buy the item for $254.99. So we're going to make $12 at this point. But that's not enough for me. That's not enough for you. So let's go a little bit deeper and let's see what else we can do. If I run over to raise.com, that's RAISE.com, looks like we're going to be able to save 6.5% off of the gift cards to actually purchase this item. And then whenever I look at Ebates, there's no real big coupons here. So it looks like the best we're going to be able to do is save 1%. I have seen this up to 6%. So this is not the perfect timing for this. But I mean, if I saw 6% today, this would be an awesome thing to jump on. So we're going to get an additional 7.5% cash back from Ebates. And here you can see my cash back total, $6,500. I actually use Ebates a ton. And so we're getting 7.5 additional percentage points off. So whenever I pull up my calculator, I see my final cost. If I use just these 3 methods, I find a coupon on Amazon or on eBay, then I use Ebates, then I use Raise. If I use these 3 things in conjunction, it looks like we can make $32 on an item that looked like it was making $0. And this is a way that you can do this, and really you're kicking out a lot of competition, because most people aren't going to think of, let me use this 15% off, let me use this Toys R Us gift card, and also let me stack it with Rays, put all these three things together, and on an item that looks like you make $0, now you're able to make $30 off of each of these that you sell. Now, I generally am not going to look for an item that Amazon is competing on, so Amazon's on this product. So for myself, I probably would look for similar item, just not with Amazon in stock. But here's one thing that I do notice on this item. This item's been going in and out of stock for the last few weeks here. The lowest FBA sellers all the way at $348.99. So I probably wouldn't even price it at $299.99. If I were going to go for this item and I wanted to try these strategies, $299 would be my worst case scenario. I'd probably send the item in. If we are able to sell it at $348.99, now we're making $77 each one of these sold. So there are multiple ways to do this. Amazon being in stock would scare me a little bit. What I would probably do is probably try to price it around here, so I make a full $77. And then worst case scenario, I can match Amazon's price, or I can go on eBay and I can look for this same item. Let me see. I'll bet you it's going for even more on eBay. Okay, so yeah, on eBay, it looks like these are going for about $350 for a new one. And let me check it on new. Yeah, so it looks like on eBay, these things are going for like $350. So this thing, using this method actually gives you two ways to make money, because you can pop this up on eBay for $350, or you can pop this up on Amazon. And the real scary part about selling something like this is what happens when Amazon comes back in stock, what happens when Toys R Us comes back in stock, and they're only $300. This is hedging your bets, because this is saying, I only paid $238 for it anyways, after all my fees and all my other things get taken out. So even if I need to sell this locally, I can still put it up for $300 locally, and I can put it on Craigslist and say, hey, I'll sell this for $300, which is the same price it's going for on Amazon.com. Here's the receipt. Or maybe you don't want to show them the receipt, but at least there, you know, I'm going to make $40-50 on each of these selling locally if Amazon comes in stock and they never go out of stock again. Worst case scenario, you pop it on eBay, you still sell the item, and you make even more because the eBay fees are a little bit lower. So you want to have an exit strategy, and you also want to make money on your purchase of the item. Buy it so cheap that it's very difficult for the price to come down that much and for you to be out of the market because the price is too low and you're losing money. So use all three of these methods. Find coupon codes that work, 15% off if you can find it. Go to Ebates, use that when you can, 1% additional off. Use Rays, 6.5% off right now. You stack these three things and you're going to make money on items that no one thought they could make money on. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day and make some money using OAXRAY. Please like and subscribe. And if you have a question about Amazon, put a comment down below and I'll make a video about it as soon as I can.